Hello everybody, welcome back to Newegg TV. I'm Steve. Today I'm going to do an overview on this AC wireless range extender. This is the REA20 from Amp Wireless. So I want to mention first and foremost that this is in fact an AC Wi-Fi range extender. And why is that important? Well, at the time of this video being recorded, we know that this is probably the first of many to come to the market, and Amp Wireless was first kid on the block to get that. Also, being that it's Amp Wireless, they also want you to know that this is a high-powered setup, basically meaning that they're using up to a maximum of 700 milliwatts for transmission via their antennas, and the dual band ranges including AC and NAC, I should say. Besides that, what's the point of a range extender? Well, essentially it allows you to connect via wireless to your currently used wireless router that's connected to the internet and allow you to almost extend your wireless connection. It's sort of, I don't really like using that term, but essentially think of two concentric circles that are sort of taking one bubble of wireless transmission, intersecting it with the bubble that this one would create, and then allowing it to kind of add two concentric circles of coverage. I'll show you on the back, that's probably easier. Aside from that, they also want you to know that they have 10 high-powered amplifiers and 3 high-gain antennas to deliver the industry's leading extended Wi-Fi coverage. That's Amp Wireless's words. Next-generation ultra-fast AC1200 Wi-Fi speeds, providing the fastest HD streaming, lag-free gaming, and downloads. Of course, that's going to mean that you're also going to have, at the very least, an AC1200 wireless router in order to get some of the benefits of that. It is 802.11 ABG and of course AC compatible with gigabit Ethernet on the back of it. Also, they have a free Wi-Fi analytics tool that you can download from Amp Wireless's website, allowing your Android or your PC to kind of do some analytics of the band and your power, I guess it would be, your signal strength and whatnot. Also, I might be able to show you that here in just a moment. Also, elite support. They have free US-based technical support, also very nice. So let me just flip to the back here and just give you kind of an idea of what you're looking at here. Essentially, here's your wireless router that's already connected to the internet, and it's creating sort of its isotropic, perfect spherical transmission and reception area, and then inside that is this area's spherical radio waves being interconnected, and basically it's talking to this router and allowing you to have a wireless connection between the two, but also allowing you to connect things via the Ethernet ports that are on the back, 5 of them I'll show you in just a moment, and you can connect things wired to it, as well as allowing you to connect to anything in this particular area. So up to 10,000 square feet according to Amp Wireless as the maximum theoretical area that it should be able to cover in optimal conditions. Aside from that, down at the bottom left here, I just want to show you this about their high-powered amplifiers. Basically, they have 3 high-gain 5 decibel antennas, also a gigabit Wi-Fi AC technology inside, as we mentioned already, 4 high-powered 700 milliwatt 5 gigahertz amplifiers in a 2-stage setup. Also 2 high-power 700 milliwatt 2.4 gigahertz amplifiers. Showing you here, if you don't already know how an amplifier works, basically your Wi-Fi signal as a standard at the stage 1 boost, raising it up slightly, and then at the stage 2 boost, a maximum of 700 milliwatts of transmission power. So let me just turn to the side to show you one final thing I want to mention about this particular Wi-Fi extender. You do get the dual band ranges. You also get ultra powerful penetration. That's primarily because 2.4 gigahertz will penetrate easier than 5 gigahertz, but 5 gigahertz has some data throughput that you won't get from the N band. Also, ultra-fast AC Wi-Fi technology, AC1200, as I mentioned already, 300 megabits per second on the 2.4 gigahertz range, and on the 5 gigahertz you're looking at 867. It looks like it's a 2x2 setup. Wi-Fi data transfer speeds. Also, guest networks and user access, probably be able to show you that in just a moment. Wi-Fi coverage control, a powerful processor, USB storage support, as well as gigabit network bridge capability, allowing you to bridge your 2 networks together via wireless connection. AirPlay and AirPrint, as well as home sharing. If you do have an iOS device, that's going to be helpful. Okay, the stuff that comes inside the box, pretty straightforward. You've got your AC adapter here, providing power for this particular range extender. We also have 3 antennas that they provide for you. Those are those 5 dBi antennas that we mentioned before. So first and foremost, they do actually label them, and they have a little note that was wrapped around it reminding you to install them with the appropriate numbers matching the back of the antenna, the SMA plugs on the back there. But bottom line is they do mention that each one of them and which one of the antennas are used for what, and matching them up. Probably important mainly for customer service support and being able to recognize which ones you plugged into what. Although anatomically speaking, I would assume that these antennas are probably about the same. But besides that, let's go ahead and look at the device, because I want to show you the back of it where this actually attaches. So this is sort of the stand for it. I'll flip that around to the back. Just slides right in here, locking into one of these. Is actually where you'd also use screws if you're going to mount this on the wall or underneath a desk or something like that. So you just slide it in there and then pull it up, locks in place, and then it holds it up. Also, they have the wires sort of coming down here in the illustration to show you that you could actually have some amount of wire management coming down through here just to kind of keep them off of your desk if you were in fact going to put it on a desk somewhere. Let me pop that back off again. And since I'm already looking at the back, I'll just show you that essentially just a gray plastic with a glossy white on top. But since I'm back here, they do have your serial number for the device as well as your MAC for both the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz radios. Also, they have some basic login information should you not know which the initial IP should be. In this case, it's 192.168.1.240. Also, the SSID that starts out on the 4 gigahertz and the 2.4 gigahertz ranges. A little bit about the back of the device in terms of the indicator lights and such too. Aside from that, also some rubber feet and a little bit of room for air to just kind of give breathability for the system to kind of get rid of some of its heat. And I'll flip it around to the front now and show you what that looks like. Actually, let me get the plastic off. There we go. As I said before, it is very glossy white. It looks fairly nice, kind of a clear plastic where the paint is actually on the other side of the plastic, so it's probably tough to see, but it gives it kind of a clear look to it. Anyways, so Amped Wireless logo right there on the front. Along the bottom you have all of your LED light indicators. First one for power, then we have the radios, that's 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. Also 1 through 5, all 5 gigabit Ethernet ports and their activity. Also a USB indicator light, excuse me, to let you know that your USB device is actually being read when you actually attach it. So, speaking of USB devices, let me flip to the back here and show you that. Here's where your USB actually is. You can attach a printer, or you could attach a storage device like a USB flash drive or a USB hard drive. That indicator light would show you when that has activity. Also, we have, I'll start on the left this time, the first of 3 SMA ports in order to attach the antennas. Of course, they just screw right in, just right here. And like they say on the little label there, definitely match up the different numbered labeled ones. First one here for 5 gigahertz. The one in the middle is for both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. The last one is for 2.4 gigahertz. And I'm sorry for making Rachel just spin around left and right to keep up with me. I apologize. Since we're over here, though, I will remove this. Small warning you to definitely make sure that you attach the antennas first before plugging in the power. So aside from that, we do have the power that plugs in here, as well as you can actually see all 5 here of the gigabit ports on the back. Then we have the USB port I already mentioned, the reset switch, and the WPS connection button. So now we have the REA20 plugged in, powered up, ready to go. I haven't ran through the setup yet, but we'll get to that in just a moment. We are going to get this connected wirelessly to an RTA20, which is also an Amped Wireless device. It's a router, and it will connect wirelessly to it and allow us to get connection in another part of the household, let's say, for instance, wirelessly, but also give the added advantage of having RJ45 Ethernet ports. So you're not necessarily going to get gigabit connection throughput, but you will be able to get computers that don't already have USB wireless adapters in them to be able to connect to this. So that's kind of another advantage of this. So That being said, let's go ahead and look at the UI. This is the web interface that you're going to see once you get connected to it the very first time, because it doesn't know what wireless device you want it to connect to or what wireless router you want it to connect to. I have it currently set up here on the dashboard, and if you notice here it says google.com. That's because it has auto DNS, as some routers do have, allowing you to type in pretty much anything, any home page you had set up, and force you to go to the actual IP address of this particular router. Let me just double check real quick for those who actually want to know that maybe you have you know, your own personal DNS servers that you use, maybe Google or OpenDNS. And that won't work if you have that set up in your system. That being said, I am looking at the server IP address of 192.168.1.240. So if you needed to go back in and do this on your own, that's what you'd probably want to do as the default IP address. Put that up there in the address bar. So here we are. We're staring at the dashboard, and what I want to do is click the scan button to find any particular wireless routers or anything else that would be like a wireless router that I could get connected to, maybe a hotspot or something like that. Let's give this a few seconds to get going, and then I'll continue. So now we're connected. I've scanned and found this list of 5 gigahertz band devices that are currently out there that I could connect to, and this list of 2.4 gigahertz band. And they do recommend that you want to have a signal strength of more than 70%. That way it has a good solid signal in order to get connected. So I'm going to pick the amped RTA 15 5.0. That's the 5 gigahertz radio to get connected to. Of course, if you're in a house that has maybe some issues connecting on the 5 gigahertz band, you can trade that for the 2.4 gigahertz. That will have a little bit easier time permeating walls. So it's asking me now, what's the network security key to get connected? And that is BF for the win. And this is getting the extended network SSID information and security key. Now this shouldn't be confused with the one that you're currently using on your router. This is, remember, 2 different wireless networks being connected via wireless, but also 2 separate or 4 separate radios, I guess it would be. That being said, you have one device on a wireless connection, the other one being this one, the range extender. So it's 2 separate networks, or 2 separate wireless radios, I should say, and you're trying to combine the 2 networks together. I'm going to use the exact same passwords for these, and then click Next. Oh, you could also clone them from the home, and that would just match the SSID to the home as well. We're going to give this a little bit of time to get connected. As soon as we're done, I'll come right back. Okay, so we are officially connected. It's telling me that that you need to disconnect any prior Wi-Fi connections during the countdown and have them reconnect to this particular SSID, the amped REA20. That is the 5 gigahertz one, as well as this being the password for that security key. So that is how you get connected. If you need to have more information, maybe perhaps with the Windows 8 or Windows XP all the way up to Windows 7, also your Apple iPhone or iPads, your Android devices, that's actually how you get them all connected. Once I click this check mark and clicks Next, that'd be it. Now I want to show you that I actually have my phone connected to it, and that is only slightly important. Forgot about the interference I'm getting from those radios. I'm sorry, guys. If you look really closely here, that is the IP address, or the subnet, I should say, for your router, or in this case, my router. So it's not talking to this as a DHCP server. It's talking to the router. So this is just the go-between. This is literally just a wireless switch at this point. That's important, so I just wanted to mention that. Okay, everybody, that wraps up this overview of the REA20 from Amped Wireless. If you liked what you saw today, go ahead and click the like button. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to any of our various YouTube channels, and we'll see you guys soon.